Yesterday was the day that I completed the installation of the SSL certificate. I made a video yesterday where I documented the things that I did to finish off the task, but there are some things I forgot, and those are the subject of this video. For SSL in 2016 video, which I made yesterday, I forgot to go over the changes made to buscompa.conf, which is the Apache configuration file for my main app. I also neglected to explain why the URL for underdog.zone changes to buscompanyx.com in the browser. In this video, I also need to review the videos from the No Framework playlist, which relate to Apache vhosts and port 443. This will help explain the behavior of Apache as it relates to HTTPS redirection and why underdog.zone appears to redirect to buscompanyx.com. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up buscompa.conf and briefly go over some of the changes which were made in there. Actually, there are two site configuration files configured in sites enabled. So Apache is running two virtual hosts. These two configuration files are basically appended to Apache's main configuration file. And depending on the directives in each one of these two files, these two configuration files, different responses happen. For example, buscompa.conf, that determines any request that goes to port 443. And port 80 was intended to catch whatever goes to port 80. However, there are other factors involved which will be clear when I go over the videos from the older playlist called No Framework. Okay, I'm in the Etsy Apache 2. Right before this, I was in Sites Enabled to show you which two configuration files were being loaded for the two virtual host sites. Now I will show you the actual content of these two configuration files. They are in Sites Available. So let's cd Sites Available. So what do we have in Sites Available? As you can see, two of the files here, this one and this one, are the two which are being loaded with Apache. So let's look at buscompa.conf. I'm using nano here. Okay, there's a directive that says if module mod SSL C. So anything between this directive and its closing counterpart will only be relevant if the user typed in HTTPS. That's not completely correct, because if the user types in HTTP, it will be redirected and the request will become an HTTPS request. So what I'm saying is what's executed here all the way to the end will only be applied or executed if Apache is viewing the request as an HTTPS request. Furthermore, the 443 here specifies that the content here all the way to the end will only be enforced if the request was received on port 443. Okay? I don't know what the word server alias benefits the Apache server. You know, this directive here, server alias. But I'm going to just add underdog.zone as a server alias. There it is, I added it right there. Next, we have server admin. We have document root is buscompa web. I'm going to change document root to be underdog web. There it is, I changed it. By the way, I also added gxsam11.net to the server aliases up here. Now I'm going to add that directory to my file system. cd root underdog cd underdog mkdir web. Now we have web. The only problem is going to be the permissions. Okay, as you can see on the right here, the web folder is owned by root. So over here, it's okay that it's owned by root. And the permissions are the same. 755 permissions on directories. So let's see what cd up one more. And then ll bus compa, where is it? It's also root and the same permissions, 755. Okay, so I don't need to change the permissions. By the way, the alias config Apache took me straight down here to etc Apache 2. So let's take a look at sites available. And okay, so we're back in here. We took care of document root, created that directory. You know, I think I should also create an index page in there. By the way, before I create that, you know, the index.html or .php in underdog web, I need to change some of these things, like this word bus compa, this directive. Okay, I need to make that underdog instead of bus compa. And probably, yeah, these error logs are also going to have to change. I'm going to have to change their names. There it is. I changed it here and here and here. Now I think I might need to go create those two files, the two log files. Based on what I see here, like for example, bus compa error and bus compa access, the way the permissions are set up, it looks like these are handled automatically. I don't even have to create the initial ones. And then we have SSL engine on. Okay. Now this is the one I really wanted to show you. Where it says SSL certificate file, that's where you would put the CRT file which you get from your hosting provider. Remember, you gave them a request for certificate, and then they gave you the CRT file, okay, and that's this one. If you want to know exactly what each file stands for, like Liquid Web 2016, see the previous video, okay? Now for SSL certificate key file, I have this one. And for SSL certificate chain file, I have this one. What I'm going to do right now is set up a basic file structure for Underdog, the project. I don't have a Git repository yet for it. On the left side here, I have basically, this is the project files for the website when it looked like this site here. These are the files and folders for it. So I'm going to copy some of the things from here and place them in Underdog zone in my development environment, not on the production server. And then I will make this directory into a Git repository, and then I will create a GitHub repository for it. Okay, I'm not sure about how this is done. You know, I forget stuff. Okay, I got to review.